Marcus had not slept properly in 3 weeks. Between his 12-hour shifts at the warehouse, picking up his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, from her grandmother's house every evening, and trying to keep the lights on in their small rented apartment, sleep had become a luxury he simply could not afford. That Tuesday night, the rain was coming down in heavy sheets as he drove his old pickup truck through the winding back roads of Clarksville, taking the longer route home because the highway had flooded near the overpass. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? His wipers were barely keeping up with the downpour, and the heater made a rattling sound that never seemed to go away, no matter how many times he banged the dashboard. He was exhausted, hungry, and just wanted to get home. That was when his headlights swept across a figure standing on the shoulder of the road, hunched over and soaking wet, holding something tightly against her chest. Marcus slowed down immediately. His first instinct was caution, because people always warned you about stopping for strangers at night. But something about the way she was standing, the desperate curve of her shoulders, the way she pressed that bundle so protectively to her body, made him pull over without another thought. He rolled down his window and saw a woman in blue scrubs, her hair plastered to her face, tears mixing with the rain on her cheeks. She was holding a baby wrapped in a thin hospital blanket that was already soaked through. The baby was not crying, which somehow felt worse. "Ma'am, are you okay?" Marcus called out, already opening his door. The woman looked up at him with wide, frightened eyes. "My car broke down 20 minutes ago," she said, her voice shaking. "I have been trying to call for help, but there is no signal out here. Please, the baby is getting cold." Marcus did not ask any more questions. He jumped out, took off his jacket, wrapped it around the baby himself, and helped her into the passenger seat. He turned the heat up as high as it would go and started driving toward the nearest town. The woman told him her name was Diana, and that she was a pediatric nurse finishing a late shift when her car had given out. The baby, she explained carefully, was not hers, but had been placed in her care for transport to a specialist clinic. Marcus nodded, focused on the road, completely unaware that in that moment, 3 unmarked police cars were tracking his truck through GPS. What Marcus did not know was that Diana was not just a nurse. She was Detective Diana Reyes, a 12-year veteran of the county's Crimes Against Children unit, currently working an undercover operation to expose a dangerous network targeting vulnerable families. The baby was real, a 3-month-old named Samuel, whose mother had reached out to the unit after being threatened. Diana had been placed in that exact situation deliberately, stranded on that specific road, to identify which passing drivers would stop and which would not, gathering behavioral data for a community trust study connected to the larger investigation. But then her actual car really did break down. Her backup team lost her signal. The rain jammed the secondary tracker. What was supposed to be a controlled scenario became terrifyingly real, and Diana found herself genuinely stranded in the cold with a baby in her arms, praying someone decent would stop. Marcus was the only one who did. When his truck pulled into the gas station at the edge of town, 3 police cars quietly surrounded the area, not to arrest him, but to secure Diana and Samuel. Officers approached with their badges out, and for one terrifying second, Marcus thought he had done something wrong. But Diana stepped forward immediately, placed her hand on his arm, and told her team loudly and clearly, "This man saved us. He is the reason we are standing here." The story that followed changed Marcus's life in ways he never expected. The department honored him publicly. A local organization that supported single parents heard about what he had done and provided him with 6 months of rental assistance. Most importantly, Lily looked at her father the next morning and said, "Daddy, my teacher says heroes are real. I think you are one." Marcus cried in the parking lot of her school for 10 minutes. He was not a hero. He was just a tired man who stopped in the rain. But sometimes that is exactly what the world needs. If this story moved your heart, please show some love to Kindness True Stories. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more real and emotional stories that restore your faith in humanity. Every share helps these stories reach someone who needs them today.